In today's episode, I'm gonna share with you something that happened to me in a meditation this week. A massive realization and experience that I've gone through and that I want to share with you. And it's still very new to me. It's still very kind of raw. I don't have all the answers yet. I haven't completely implemented yet into my life. This will take a while. But I just feel so excited about it that I want to share it with you. You know how I am. I always want to share these good news and these new realizations with you straight away. So let's get into it. So what I discovered this week in that meditation is a whole new level and understanding of wholeness, oneness, whatever you might call it. And it was a morning meditation on Tuesday this week. It was actually the long version of Changing Boxes meditation from Dr. Joe Dispenza. Yes, that meditation. It's a very good one. And with a few other people in a group of like-minded people, we are actually doing 30 days of doing the Changing Boxes meditation. A lovely friend set that up, and I do a couple of them as well during the week with them. So it was this meditation, and as part of that meditation, we go in a state of connecting. We're going into the quantum field. We connect with the quantum field, and we connect with the feeling and the thought of wholeness or oneness. And I have practiced this now for years, and I have had different kind of levels of experience with it. Do I say that I have had huge upgrades with that or huge steps on that? No, I actually mentioned this before, that this is one thing that I have to keep working on. And I think this week I finally had a bit of a breakthrough. I'm probably still way at the beginning of understanding this all, but it was just so amazing. So as I said, it was during the meditation, I was concentrating on sending out the signal of wholeness and creating it in the quantum field and trying to feel it as well with my heart. And while then suddenly the feeling of oneness or wholeness or whatever it was that I created came through me, I suddenly had this thought, this realization, which was, what if I am completely whole? What if I am exactly how I am right now, complete? And then I suddenly had this thought, I am 100% complete right now. God, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it, intended for me to be exactly where I am right now, exactly where I am in my thoughts and feelings about my body, in my business, in my work, in my partnership, in my friendship, in my spiritual growth, all the areas of my life, exactly where I am right now is completeness, is wholeness. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be at this point in time. And having that kind of realization and that kind of feeling of that could be the truth was mind-blowing. It was just incredible. It was kind of like I let go of everything inside of me that would question that to be the truth. All the limiting beliefs, all of the frustrations of not being where I think I should be, or how I should be, or how I should look like, or what my relationships should look like. All of those things suddenly were gone And there was just this feeling of, you are completely where you're supposed to be. Exactly that. And God, Source, the universe, your higher self is so happy with you. Oh, tears are coming to my eye when I just think about that again, of how it felt. It just was so freeing. It was just so freeing. This feeling of, oh my God, what if exactly how I am, and with all of the things that are not right yet, or not like I am thinking that they should be, what if they are actually perfect? Perfect not in a sense of perfectionism, but in a sense of, yes, this is exactly where you're supposed to be. I shouldn't be any different. I shouldn't look any better. I shouldn't be any leaner. I shouldn't have more success in my business. I shouldn't have better relationships with certain people in my life. I should be exactly where I am now. I have fulfilled my highest purpose and my soul contract at this moment in time. This is where I'm supposed to be. And can you feel with me? Can you sense how freeing this would be if you thought like that? If suddenly somebody came, if suddenly your higher self or God would literally come to you and tell you, yes, you are exactly right. You are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. I don't want you to be any better, any further, any more successful, any more accomplished. My plan for you was to be exactly where you're supposed to be. I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. You are complete exactly how you are right now. Can you imagine how that feels? It's absolutely mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. That's why I wanted to tell you about this. What if you could just feel like that? How about you sit yourself down in a meditation just with some music or some silence, and you just try to imagine it? Our brain is so amazing in creating imaginations all day long. We are all the time up here creating something. So how about you imagine having the knowingness and the truth being told by yourself or by somebody, something higher, that you're exactly where you're supposed to be and you're complete, and there is nothing that you need to do. There is nothing that you need to be. There is nothing that you need to accomplish. There's nothing that you need to change. I know. I'm telling you all the time how to change. This is literally my passion, my purpose in this podcast, in these videos, to tell you and give you tips on how to change. But what if there is nothing for you to change right now, in this perfect moment of time, in this precious moment? And I invite you to imagine this and to try to connect with that feeling through your heart space of trying to imagine how it would feel like if you were told by the highest instance that you can even imagine that you are complete, that you are whole right now. It was just such a magical experience. I can't describe it any better than it was pure magic and pure bliss. And as you can imagine, I have not even fully let this sink in or completely understood this. This is now going to be okay. All right, this was amazing. How can I have more of this in my life? So this is now, of course, kind of like another part of the journey, another kind of fun task for me to implement more of in my life, right? I had a glimpse of this and now I'm like, oh, wow, I want more of that in my life. How do I get there? And of course, it's going back into that space of believing it and feeling the truth of it. But I will get there over time. What I wanted to share with you is another 2 kind of realizations I had out of this that came to me kind of while I was coming out of the meditations and in the hours afterwards. I did some journaling afterwards to actually write this down so I wouldn't forget. If you can even describe it with words, I tried it so I wouldn't forget and I would be able to talk to you about it. But 2 huge realizations I had pretty much straight away. And one of them is, if I am exactly where I am supposed to be right now, and I don't need anything. I don't need anything. I am complete. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to buy anything. I don't need to become anybody. I don't need anything if I feel complete. And that's kind of like the feeling I had. It was probably just a few seconds, maybe a few minutes. I don't know. Time didn't really exist anymore at that point. But I felt like, well, if I am so whole and complete right now, I don't need anything. Why would I? I have everything. And that was such a huge realization. And that doesn't mean that I don't want to take actions anymore. It doesn't mean that I don't want to create anything anymore. That doesn't mean that I don't need anybody anymore in my life and therefore I don't want to have relationship or people in my life anymore. No. What it means is that if you come from a place of you don't need anything anymore, you are in the perfect place to create out of completeness, to have relationships out of completeness. You can create something, you can take action out of love, out of completeness, out of passion, not out of lack, out of fear, out of being scared of something. You are so complete that you don't need anything, and therefore, okay, if I don't need anything, what do I want to do? What do I want to create? Who do I want to love? Who do I want to spend time with? If I don't need my job, okay, but I still currently have it, okay, but I don't need it. Okay, so how do I want to spend my day in my job if it's not out of neediness, of needing to do it, but out of completeness, out of love? Okay, I don't need it. So what do I want to do? How do I want to be in my job today and enjoy my day the most while still doing my job? And that is just amazing. If we could all be in the place of not needing anything, not wanting anything, not fearing anything, not being scared of anything, not running away from anything or resisting anything, because we are perfect exactly where we are, and we are in the right place in the right time, exactly where a higher self of us has wanting us to be. So then we can act, we can behave, we can create from such a better place that is so much more fulfilling. It makes sense, right? If you create something out of completeness and out of love, that it will be even more fulfilling. It makes you even more complete and feeling even more love than before, when you were creating something out of lack, out of need, out of, oh, I want this so much. And that is a huge revelation that I wanted to share with you. And like I said, I have not figured this all out yet. It's just still so new. And I'm now going to implement this into my life. And it's just going to be mind-blowing. I will keep you up to date, as I always do. So that's what I wanted you to, know. I wanted you to listen to this and go, yes, Linda, this is the message that I needed. This is what I want to achieve as well. This is where I want to get to. And well, I've been there. If it's just for a few seconds, you can be there too. And the second thing that I wanted to share with you was, if I was complete in that fraction of a moment, I can create it again and again, right? If you created something once, you can do it again. I will do it again, I promise you that. But what I had the thought then as well is that if I am complete and my higher self, the universe, God wanted me to be exactly where I am now, exactly with how my body looks, how my business goes, how my relationships look like, how my bank account looks like, how my fitness and my health looks like. If I am exactly where I'm supposed to be, and in that moment my higher self, the God, the universe told me, yes, you are, then that applies as well to every human being. It applies to you. It applies to every person around me. It applies to every one of my family members. Yay, great. I'm so happy for them. It applies to my partner. It applies to my friends, and I'm happy for them. And it applies to people who don't seem to be deserving of our love. It applies to our enemies. It applies to the people that upset us. It applies to the people or person that hurt us. It applies to people that are hated hugely. But it applies to them as well. They are exactly where they're supposed to be in the grand scheme of this earth and reality, how we created it. And I know this will now be very controversial to you. I will leave you with that controversialness. But I feel so much better believing it and knowing it and having experienced it. If I am complete, then so is everybody else. Sadly, they are not seeing it yet. Sadly, they are still acting out of fear, out of hate, from being scared, from needing something, from wanting something, from desiring something so much that they think that's what they need to be one day complete. But it can't be if we're already complete right now. And if I'm complete and I can experience that in a fraction of a second, then everybody else is complete in itself, in its own unique way. There is not one way to be complete. Every one of us has a meaning. We selected a purpose to be here. We wanted to experience something on this earth. So each one of us is completely unique. So there is no one way of being whole and complete, because we are all whole and complete in completely different ways. And otherwise we wouldn't experience anything on this earth if we would all literally be the same person, right? So we must be all completely different to be able to create polarity in this earth and to complete different experiences. We cannot all have the same job. We cannot all look the same. We cannot all do the same. We cannot all have the same passion or have all the same dream. We all have to be differently. But in the true sense, we are all complete. We're just traveling back in this lifetime towards this knowledge. And some of us will reach it in this lifetime and some of us don't. And that's perfectly okay, because we just get another chance of doing it. And I got one chance this week of experiencing it very briefly. It has changed me already significantly, but it will change me much more in the future. I know that. because I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface. It was just one little scratch, one little glimpse that I was able to have. I opened myself up to that finally, and I was able to see it. And I wanted to share it with you because I want everyone to be able to learn how complete they already are, and that we don't need anything. We don't need anybody. We don't need to buy anything. We don't need to become anybody. We are right now, right here, right where we're supposed to be. That's what I wanted to share with you this week. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Whatever you think about it will be perfect for you. And what I think about it is perfect for me. That's how we are all perfect where we're supposed to be. I just want you to know that you are complete, that you are whole. And if you have not so far experienced, you can. You know where to find me. If you need a little bit of help of getting there, of doing your own growth journey, your own travel to your inner self, to your true authentic self to get there, I can show you how, and I would be honored to do that. So thank you so much for being with me here today, and with that I love you and leave you. Talk soon, and bye bye.